Okay, cheers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hold on, let me just put this because it's Pride Month.
Oh, gay.
Yay! Happy Pride.
Pride.
I have like phlegm in my throat right now.
I constantly have phlegm in my throat. Oh, I think I have a package. I have a million packages because as you know, oh yeah, before I say anything, I'm Lorrie. Hello.
Yeah. And I'm Mel. Welcome to the chaos. That is us. That is this whole entire thing we got going on.
Oh yeah, I got several. It's funny because I have that film over my window. You can see figures for the most part, like through the window. Yeah, like silhouettes. Not even like that much though. Like you'd have to be pretty up close. But it's funny because there's a delivery person right there, and I'm sure they see me at the only light that's coming through, which is at my desk right now. It's the only light. It's next to the window. Sorry. I have a fuck ton of packages because, as you know, I adopted kitties.
I want to scream louder, but I don't want to blow out the fucking ears. Right?
I'm gonna have little fur babies. But they basically want us to pick them up like within 5 days of signing the papers, and so like I just went on an Amazon spree, and I don't want to tell you how much I spent. And that's just like on the essentials too. And then I have a bunch of boxes and other shit. It basically forced me. Not only was I trying to get my place together anyways, and I had a goal a couple weeks ago to be done by the end of the month so I could finally have people over, have barbecues and whatnot. Besides you, yeah. I mean, I love you, but you've been here. You and maybe like 2 other people have been here. But like I already was in the process of trying to like get all my stuff finally organized, and there's a lot of stuff I'm donating and selling and stuff, so but then adopting the cats, I was like, now I have to rearrange again to make room for the cats, which is fine. I've kept most of like the furniture. I've just had to rethink where everything goes, but it's basically forcing me.
Quick question: did you get the coffee table? Oh
yeah, I did. There's hella shit on it right now, so I would show you. Love it? Yeah, it's great. Charlie likes it. I did have an issue at first when I was trying to put together the end table thing, but I figured it out eventually. But yeah, it's good. I actually found a cat bowl, because I also had to get cat bowls for them to eat out of, clearly. And I found one that kind of goes with the vibe of our coffee table.
No fucking way. Let me see.
But I found this. I was just going to get a cheap one, and then we were going to look for like cute cat dishes eventually, but then I last minute saw this. I think it was like a suggestion like in the corner, and I saw it. Look.
Oh, you're joking.
2 bowls. It's got in this part the wavy white like our coffee table. I mean, this is orange, which is a little different, but it's fine.
No, I love it. I love it because you want color in your apartment anyway, so that's just a cute little pop.
And it has the blush pink like I wanted.
Oh, what the heck. So
I know, cute. I just randomly found it. It was like, what is that? I saw it. It was from Amazon, actually, surprisingly.
I love it. Oh my god, I can't wait to see the coffee table. I want to see what it looks like. All right, so where are you putting the litter boxes? Like, are you putting
the corner where my printer was at is where it is. I turned that rack sideways. So one of the cat litters is going to be on the very bottom shelf of it, and then right next to it where the space opens up is another litter. They'll be next to each other.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's the biggest space because these stainless steel litters are pretty big. So yeah, we're gonna have big boys, and I got a bunch of other stuff. I got that Allerpet stuff for dander because I'm technically allergic to cats.
Same.
I'm seeing my allergist on Monday, so I'm not gonna tell her that I adopted though, because she said that if I was thinking about getting a cat, I should let her know and we'll figure it out. I'm just going to say, hey, we found some kittens. It happened really fast and we're hoping to adopt them, but it's going to be pretty quick. I'm just going to see. Yeah, I'm not going to tell her that we already got them.
When you saw the cats, did your allergies flare up or not?
Well, since I was at a cat cafe and there's like a lot of cats, when we left, I was sneezing a little, but that was like literally a cafe full of cats. So, this is just 2 little buddies. And I'm sure I'll get a little bit, but I'm gonna do everything I can, take allergy medicine, do the Allerpet. It's basically supposed to help with the dander.
So Allerpet. So what is Allerpet exactly? Is it like a cream or like a what is it?
No, it's like a spray. It's just like a.
It's a spray. It's right. Okay.
You put it on a little glove.
I forget what it is.
Depending on your cat, though, you could spray them directly, but I don't know if all cat. But you put it on the glove and you basically lather them in it, and then you dry them off with a towel, and it's like a little dander control. You do it like once a week.
Okay, sick, because like I'm thinking like, damn, when I come over, I'm gonna have to be strapped with the allergy medicine because cats are my highest allergen. Like, it's pretty bad.
But have you ever noticed that I mean, have you noticed though a lot of cat owners are literally super allergic to cats?
Yeah.
And that's how much we love them. So
yeah, I told my allergist, my new allergist, I guess she's my allergist now. But she was like, so you want a cat? And I was like, yeah, I do. And Travis is there like, yeah, that's all she talks about wanting a cat. Like it's her dream. So I'm like, yeah, I want one. And she's like, okay, well, what I recommend is for you to get an air purifier or something. But please
I have 2. I already had that before they were here.
Yeah. I mean, I have one too, but I think I'm probably going to get another one once I decide. Like a bigger one. But she was like, maybe let me know 3 months or 5 months before you get a cat. We also found out I feel like
that's probably what I should have done. But I'm like, look, lady, the cats picked me. We're here.
Yeah, and we also discovered that I might be more allergic to boy cats than girl cats. You know, since I lived with a girl cat for a couple years. And
I actually heard that it's common that people can be more, which is funny because I got 2 boy cats.
Yeah. So as soon as you told me you got 2 boy cats, I was like, fuck. I hope like I don't die every time I go over there. But it doesn't matter. I'll be strapped.
My allergies have just been really bad. I've never had a sinus infection. I've never had it so bad before. This year is just really bad. I blame global warming mostly.
I think there's a connection between that and the high allergens or whatever. But with like ever since I met Travis has been struggling with his asthma for. Look,
I knew he was gonna have it at some point.
Look, well, he's been struggling with his asthma since I met him, like really, really badly. Like, so he's like, it's never been this bad for me to need my asthma pump as much as I need it now. Like, it's really bad. And I think it's just the air. It's just the air quality.
It's been bad lately. Because when I moved to New York, almost, it'll be 6 years in October, but like, I had less allergies here. You know, and every time I went home to California, I'd be suffering. But that's California, you know, I figured.
Yeah.
And I was thankful I didn't really have bad allergies here, very mild. I also have mild asthma. Luckily, it hasn't been flaring out. But yeah, it's just, this year has been terrible. This is my 4th sinus infection since January, and December really, but yeah, it's bad. But I have little boy cats. I'm going to do the Allerpet. I'm going to do all that I can do. And I am.
What's the breed for the people?
Well, the breed, they're just domestic medium hair cats, but the volunteer said that they might be like part Maine Coon because they're pretty large, and their temperament, because they're super chill. They're so nice. Yeah, they love all the pets. They like it. You can touch their paws.
I can't wait.
Well, so you're gonna be a little cat auntie.
Oh my fucking god! Like, I am spaz, and they're 7 months old, babies, little tiny tings. I am
little tiny tings. Like, well, not tiny tings, because there's kittens half their size. They're probably twice as big as a lot of kittens. Yeah, but yeah, Brooklyn Cat Cafe, it's in... What area is that? It's not Carroll Gardens. It's like a little past Carroll Gardens.
Is it on Montague Street?
Montague. Yeah, Montague. Which is like... I guess that counts as like Cobble Hill, I guess. I guess it's like Cobble Hill area-ish. Mm-hmm. But yeah, cute place if you guys want to adopt.
Wait, so when do you get them?
Sunday morning, we're going to go pick them up. Charlie gets back.
Sunday morning?
Yeah.
So soon!
I know. It was like such like a week process. We saw them the second time on Monday and then decided to put in an application. I got approved a couple days later. Thank you for my recommendation. Apparently, that's common here. You have to get like recs and references for pets in New York. I asked Marissa to write me one. I asked Marissa to write one too. She had to write one for our other friend that's in New York too, for the landlord. And I've never had that happen anywhere else before, and neither has she. And I'm guessing it's because the city is so dense and there's so many people here. People probably abandon animals a lot, so I kind of...
Oh, yeah.
I kind of get it.
I understand.
A suburb might be different than, obviously, New York City. I think it's just because it's so dense here. Okay, we gotta move on past my cats, even though I'm just super excited about them.
Oh my god, I can't wait to meet them. I will.
I love how much you're squealing.
I am dead. Like, I didn't know it was gonna happen so soon, and I didn't know it was gonna be two.
Me neither.
Like, 2 of them. I was like, 2 cats? 2? Double the cuteness.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Charlie would be living here longer before we got cats, but...
But, okay, so let's move on.
I wanted to move into the topic from there, but I know we wanted to talk about something else before that.
Yeah, really quickly. We don't have to spend that much time on this. But today, it will be maybe like a week or 2 later after this, when this is actually posted. But today, while we're filming this, Kehlani's Crash album came out. And I don't think we'd be good queers if we didn't talk about it at least a little bit.
Yeah, I listened to it earlier. What's your overall feeling of it?
Okay, so I enjoyed a few songs. I'm partial to the middle chunk of the album. I enjoyed several songs. My favorite song is the single Next to You. But aside from that, I enjoyed it. I just feel like maybe I expected more from it.
Yeah, so I might be in like the same boat as you. To preface this, I love Kehlani. You know that, but I literally bought VIP to go see her in Miami. I've met her. I've seen her at Bill Graham Civic in San Francisco. I saw her in a very tiny show in Oakland before she like really blew up. I listened to all her mixtapes. You know, I love Kehlani.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you your thoughts.
So it's... Yeah, I know she had talked about that she was gonna be like experimenting with different things, and from what I've known, Kehlani hasn't really drifted too far from what her thing is, which is R&B, you know. And I might agree with you with like probably liking the middle chunk a little bit better than most of the opening song. Groove Theory I wasn't super into.
Same.
So it was a weird opening to the album, and it was very eclectic, and I was expecting because she was talking about doing it, but like at the same time, it seemed a little unfocused, I guess. Which is, yeah, it kind of seemed a little disjointed a bit. What I will say about it is that I understood like when you got into the singular songs what she was trying to say, and like the stories behind each individual song, but that's how it kind of felt. Like, it was very individual songs. I didn't feel like there was a whole story. Maybe the whole story of the album is that they're going through, like, a lot of stuff, especially the last few years. Just a lot of, maybe it's kind of disjointed because maybe the things around her and her life right now, their life right now is maybe a little disjointed. Maybe not always negative. It could also be in a positive way, just generally kind of all over the place, and maybe that album kind of reflects that a little bit.
Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite? I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. I'm actually really bad at favorites anyways. If you ask me my favorite anything, I'm very bad at choosing that. I'm good at decisions, but I'm not good at picking favorites, you know?
I think from the first listen, because I really just went through it maybe once or twice, honestly, but a lot of the songs are unfortunately forgettable for me right now.
Same.
I think
I'm gonna sit on it and then listen to it again.
Yeah.
I might sit on it for a little bit before trying to listen to it again, but yeah.
Yeah, I like Crash because Crash felt it actually got me a little emotional a little bit towards the end, because it felt like a really like, you love me anyway, even like all my demons, blah blah blah. Like it felt really nice and sweet in a way. And then I heard that Deep was her favorite song on the album, and
I liked it.
And I understand Deep. I understand where it comes from. I love the story. I love the emotion that comes from it. But I didn't really like how they sounded. I was like it felt a little like in my ear, it felt like off, you know? But I do love the emotion of the song.
I think that's the album for me in general. I think I understand the stories of the songs, and I kind of connected in it that way. I do get where it's like they're coming from, but the song itself, in terms of like execution and the rest of it, not super into it. I think, but what I will say positively about the disjointedness, I think it's cool that they're like in an experimental era. I think it could be a fun new thing to also find out, you know, your taste might change. Maybe you explore stuff, you find something new that's cool. I think that's great. I think do your experimental shit, you know, do your thing. I think experimental at this point is everyone's Cowboy Carter, you know, this is Kehlani's little Cowboy Carter a little bit. Not to compare it, but more of the way it's, I'm not comparing them. It's more that exploring something that they're not necessarily known for in a lot of different ways.
Coming out of the box a bit and not being cooped up in their R&B label or what they're known to do as an artist.
But to move on to our topic, as we've just been talking about a bunch of random shit in the beginning of this for a little longer than we probably should have, kind of just goes into how our brain processes work. As in how very neurodivergent we are. I personally am diagnosed severe ADHD. Fun times. I remember when I got diagnosed, he was trying to be nice. He was like, there's a couple of spots where it's more moderate. I was like, okay, you're just saying I'm just slightly less severe, but really there's
a couple spots.
He's like moderate to severe. I was like, it's mostly severe though. I see the chart. I'm looking at it.
Fuck.
Like, okay, cool.
So first, let's. I have this definition of neurodivergent here. Let's just kind of like open it up with this. So neurodivergence, a non-medical term that describes people whose brains process information differently than most people. It can also refer to the natural differences in how people think. So, like you said, you're diagnosed, right? I am not diagnosed, but me and everyone around me think that I am also.
You have some habits that remind me of me a little bit, and I kind of think you are, for sure, to be honest.
I have, yeah. So I am not diagnosed, but, you know, we're gonna move through it. And, you know, there's tools out there, and I'm trying to use them, even though a lot of them don't work. But it's okay. We move on. So I had a question for you.
Well, before that, and then the other term, if you're not neurodivergent, you're neurotypical, which honestly sounds like an insult. I don't want to just be typical.
So now that you've said that, because I have a question here. I have a question for you about that. So, okay. When you meet someone, can you tell if they're neurodivergent or neurotypical? Are we all a little neurodivergent? Like, is that wrong to say? Do we fall in a spectrum? Or are there clear signs of neurotypical people? Like, have you met people that are like, you're fucking neurotypical and I hate you? You know, like, does that come up?
I'll be real with you. I don't know if I've ever met anyone neurotypical. But also, I feel like with anything, personalities, whether you're neurodivergent or not, I feel like personalities in general, you'll attract certain types of people in your life anyways. And I think I attract ADHD, queer, even if you're not queer, just very, probably weird, probably hyperactive. Those are the people that, like, you've met my friends. I mean, we're a little out there, you know? I think we just attract certain people, so I don't know if I've attracted a neurotypical person, or I probably had very brief instances with them. I have looked up, like, I don't have any specific studies, but it has, well, you know, my Google education has told me that most studies do suggest that majority of people are probably not neurodivergent. I feel like it would be harder to find a neurotypical person, and I wouldn't really know the signs of it, to be honest. And maybe that is the sign, is that the sign is that I don't know what they are, because I feel like I
can't see the signs.
I think once you talk to anybody, I mean, I don't think you can look at a person and know that they are. No, I feel like style is also a very personal thing. You don't have to be neurodivergent to wear, like, crazy colors and stuff. You could just like color. But I think the second you start talking to someone, and depending on what you talk about, I think you can kind of tell that they're probably... And there's different types of neurodivergence. It's not just ADHD. Obviously, you could be a little autistic, you could be ADD. Different. Also, ADHD isn't just one form. There are a lot of common factors between most ADHD people, but there are different types of ADHD. I am a combo type, which makes a lot of sense. I can be like that I think it's misconstrued because it's hyperactive disorder as the H in it. So I think a lot of people think that all ADHD people are hyper. There's actually a type of ADHD that's the literal opposite of that you're, like, too calm. And not calm necessarily. It's more that you, like, stew more, or, like, you just do things. You tend to go silent when you're, like, overwhelmed and other things like that. And then hyperactive is, like, the more obvious signs. And I am both. Which honestly makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know you're not diagnosed, but I feel like before I was even diagnosed, I wasn't diagnosed till I was 30, right? So, but I had always suspected I had it since high school. It became more obvious in my adulthood, though. When I got into the workforce, that's when I started noticing it a lot more. There's a lot of stuff in my, like, past, like, my earlier life and my career that, like, I regret. I burned some bridges and stuff because I couldn't focus, or I had bad communication skills with projects, or I procrastinated hardcore and would rush to do shit. Was just very bad at time management. I still kind of am, but I've had to work really hard to get to where I am right now. And I still have issues, obviously, because I'm still ADHD. I got my treatment when I was doing the neurofeedback, and it was great, but you can only really focus on a little by little. But it got expensive, and my insurance didn't really cover it, so I had to stop, which is very unfortunate. But it was a lot. I did it twice a week. of someone just messing with my brain waves for an hour.
Yeah.
But I always suspected I did. So I'm wondering if you have felt like you've suspected it for a while.
Yeah. So I feel like I didn't really, when I was younger, I just sometimes I felt a little like dumber than like my peers, than like than other students. I just felt like what? And I used to get like teased about it too. People used to be like, "Are you a dumb blonde?" Or like, not even like in a mean way, because I didn't even take it like that. I would be kind of like, sometimes I would be clueless to what's going on. But it wasn't that I was not smart, because like I knew that I was smart in school because I did well in school, but it didn't really register with me until after. So like in college, when I would come up with something and just like do things out of impulsivity and kind of dead it, maybe like a year later or like way less than that, I've done so many different things. So I feel like the moment I started seeing that pattern of me kind of like picking stuff up and dropping it and picking stuff up and dropping it and like going into school for like so much money and going into debt and shit like that, for them to just me dropping it, I was like, maybe like there's like something up with me. I don't know. So it wasn't until maybe like 3 or 4 years ago when I started looking things up and I was like, oh, all these things sound right to me. Like I can't really focus all that much. Like I'm struggling with this right now, like talking to my therapist, and like I'm in a very lost space in my life right now. Like I am like scared to do anything, to make any moves right now, because I'm scared that I'm going to drop it one day, because I can't focus on it for too long, you know? And I think that I feel very, very scattered. And I think that's one of the number one ADHD symptoms that comes up for me. I feel very like, I feel all over the place too. Yeah, I can just like be everywhere all at once. So I was wondering, what are the signs that show up for you the most? I know you said time management, because I had a question here, but I think you sort of answered it. But what are the signs that really pop up for you now in the present more than in the past? Like, what are the biggest challenges for you right now? And then like, just to follow up on that, like you said that some of the habits that you have, you see in me. I was just gonna ask, like, what do you see in me that is so similar to you that makes you think like this bitch has ADHD? Even though like I might know, but like, you know, just talk about it.
Probably like my forgetfulness and like cloudy haziness, because not necessarily forgetting, but also just like seemingly being lost for a minute. I have that stupid ADHD like displacement thing where you put something down and you thought you put it somewhere, but then it's not there the next time you look. But also, it doesn't happen every time, but sometimes, you know, it's me doing multiple tasks, because I'll go from one thing and then end up at another thing. I don't know how I got there from where I started.
Oh my God.
Also, most of these I can probably say about you, because I've seen you do the same thing.
Let me tell you, that one right there is insane. The way that I just like, I'm just like here. Have you ever had like a glitch moment where you're kind of like, you're picking something up and you're about to like do something, and then like you have another thought like immediately after that, and you're like literally being pulled in both directions because you're like, you want to do both things at the same damn time, like immediately, but you can't. And like my thing is prioritizing what's most important. Like I'll be in the kitchen, let's say, like with Travis or whatever, we're cooking or whatever, and let's say we're cooking and something spills on the floor. I'm attacking that immediately. Like, I'm going like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But there's a really hot pan of something on the stove that might burn if I don't attend to that and leave that spill, because that's more important right now. Like, I know that's more important. But my brain says, no, this just happened, so you have to attack this immediately, right now. But the spill isn't important. So I'm just kind of like, it's really hard for me to prioritize, because if I'm presented with a whole bunch of tasks, everything is urgent to me right now. Every single thing. Yeah. So I have to do all of it at once and risk making so many mistakes.
Oh yeah, I mean that. Well, especially only in the last few years I've gotten better at like trying to catch mistakes. I still do, even at work. Luckily, my work is pretty chill, and my boss doesn't care. He's just like, "Oh yeah, can you just put that thing?" Oh, sorry, I forgot. But they have got at an old job. They definitely pointed that out with me before. It's still a struggle. I'm trying not to make mistakes, but then I like stress myself out by concentrating too much, trying not to make mistakes. So it's like it's a rough time. I think also, let's see. It depends. Sometimes I can be kind of good about like switching my task. Like I'll try to put the thing aside. Like if the stove was on, I would probably just either turn it off or turn it really low so that it gives me a few more seconds, like a couple minutes, or I'll just move it off of the flame and turn the flame on low so I can immediately put it back. But whatever. Sometimes I'm good at that, not all the time, but I want to say it's my forgetfulness for sure and misplacing stuff all the time. And it frustrates me to the point that it makes me cry because I just get really frustrated. So like it can be a rough time because especially if I'm having a bad day or like a bad week in general, and then just like a little thing like earlier today, like trying to, we haven't done remote in a little bit, and I have shit everywhere because I'm getting stuff together, and like my camera wasn't working, this stuff wasn't working, all this other stuff, and then I put something down, so I was getting so mad, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, I get really frustrated because when the little things will make me mad, especially if it's just building on stuff. Another thing that comes with ADHD is emotional irregulation, and I have a lot of it. And when I was doing neurofeedback, I was trying to work on that. And also in therapy, I still get really emotional. I also think it's also how I grew up. Is just my whole family is very emotional, and I'm pretty sure my entire family is neurodivergent for sure. I get very highly emotional. I'm trying to, especially when it's like if I'm with Charlie, is like we're getting frustrated and stuff. I'm trying really hard to like get better at it. I still have issues, but I want to say I'm at least better than I was when I was like 25, and that was real bad, And then the prioritizing thing as well. My therapist tried to I know how lists work, and I've tried to write down things to help me. And the only time it really helps me is like a grocery list or something. But when it's like tasks, I try to do like putting the most important, like I try to, because in notes, I think you can move them around, or whatever program I was using. I moved the most important one to the top. But sometimes it's I don't know if it's just me or if it's ADHD or if it's just a me thing. But sometimes, even though the top priority, they're nothing like say this list is nothing like life or death. That's super, super important, but stuff that I want and need to do. And the thing on the top of the list I can't do because there is something else that is in the way, or I can't do it. So then I'm like, I know I should do this, but like I can't because this thing needs to finish. I don't know, whatever it is. And I tried doing the list. She was like, just move. She was like, also maybe have an ongoing list of the things that you need to do, but for the day, pick like 5 just for the day and just do those ones. But again, if something gets in my way and I can't do it because of another thing, and then I'm just like, so do I switch it out? The list honestly made me more frustrated. And I really try I try to write stuff down for things, especially for like work things. Sometimes I have to physically write because sometimes the digital stuff doesn't always help me. But yeah, lists don't really help me all that much, which is very unfortunate. And I hate that for me.
Yeah, I also hate that for me as well. I've thrown money at planners over the years.
Girl, there's
so
one
much
on my
money.
bookshelf
so
right
much
now.
Money.
It's not.
I have one right next to me, right? Like, and this, so I've tried the bullet journaling thing where you're just kind of like, you know, creating your own. And then I got lost in the art and I started using that shit as a sketchbook more than a fucking planner, what it was supposed to do. So then it just started being something pretty that I wrote down and I didn't fill in shit. So I tried maybe another one, you know, that had like, it was bigger and it had things already written in there. Ask me if I wrote in it for like 6 months out of the year. I didn't. That shit is empty up in the closet. And I bought a new one.
That one's new? One. Yeah, it looks clean. Clean.
This one's new. This one's color coded. Like I've written in it for sure, but I've barely written in it for the whole month of June. I barely wrote in it for the month of May. And that's how that's going right now. So the issue is I can't get another planner. I can't waste money on another planner because I'm realizing that the planners don't work for me. Because the thing is that opening up the planner, writing it in the planner is a task in itself that I just can't do.
I can't do it. So like I'm to make it sucks because I have to on the fly, not on the fly, but I also have to make my own habits that help myself. And that's basically what I've done for years. I mean, it's so hard. I can't lists, and I'm having another thing where I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something and now I fucking lost it. Fuck me. I mean, I'm showing you exactly the topic right now. ADHD, dog. I feel like I would spend more time organizing things too sometimes if it's a planner and like the color coding and here it is. I know what I was gonna say.
Perfect.
It's a fucking mess. You know how usually people suggest you have to do something consistently for at least 2 weeks to form a habit? I think ADHD people have a lot of trouble forming the habits because even if we did do the task for 2 weeks, we're still not technically consistent. And what I mean by that is that we're not doing it around the same time of day, every time. We're probably not doing the exact same thing, but probably similar thing. And so we never really truly consistently do it for 2 weeks. And it really sucks. And I think that's another thing I struggle with is building habits, especially being in my 30s. It really sucks because like, I'm the point, I got bills, I got shit to do. I'm trying to get back to my health because I used to work out a lot. I used to go to martial arts and stuff. The problem is that when I stop being consistent and I fall off of a wagon, it's so hard for me to get back there. And even though I was consistent with working out and doing martial arts, even into COVID, the first year of COVID, I was still doing pretty well. And then the next 2 years got rough. But I did it for at least 3 to 4 years straight, like 3 years straight of training, working out, and it was just part of my routine. I was used to working out and doing stuff, being active. But this also was a result of COVID in general. All of us were really sedentary, which I don't think anyone was really used to at all. Even if you're an introvert, I even heard even if you were introverted, it was weird. It was just something that everyone experienced. But not sedentary, it was just like I'm still trying to get back. I just signed up for ClassPass to finally like try to go to the gym and go to yoga and do stuff. And try to like take care of my health because my family does tend to have health issues. Diabetes runs in my family and other health issues in general. I mean, most of my siblings have to take some sort of pills all the time. I'm really trying not to do that. And they started that years ago. I really just need to exercise so I don't get tired all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just like, forming habits just really sucks. I wish I could form habits. I wish.
I think my issue is I feel like I could form habits if I really, really am enjoying the thing. If I'm not enjoying the thing, I will fall off. Like, I'm going to get bored of the thing in like a couple months, you know? Like I was surprised. I was surprised that I was like studying like these languages for a little while. Like I couldn't believe I was doing that for like maybe like almost 2 years, honestly. Because like no one told me to do that. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I just hit a plateau and just stopped, you know? Or like and the thing is that when I drop something and something that I formed a habit on, like, you know, I was doing CrossFit for a while, right? When I drop it, I beat myself so much over it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, oh my God, like I'm not this thing anymore. I can't do this thing anymore. Like, you know, like crochet, for example, like I picked that up a few years ago. And every time I drop it for a while, I'm like, I don't do that anymore, you know? Or like, you know, it's just like something I used to do.
I think you, especially with crochet, you go back to it. There's still things I luckily will still go back to, but I will say I'll never be consistent enough to be really good at it. Like longboard dancing, I love it. It's fun. I like to skate. Yeah. But you know, I've been skating majority of my life, but I'm not good at it necessarily. I mean, I'm better than a lot of people. I realize some people can't even skateboard at all, but I could be doing it for a week straight and get pretty good at like a new move or a new trick, but then I will not do it consistently enough where I'm comfortable to just fucking whip it out while I'm skating down the street, you know? And I really wish I could. It looks so fun to be able to just do the thing, you know? And not eat shit every time, you know? And, or not hit my... and not hit my shins and knock the fun. I have shin pads when I go skate, actually, because I've fucked them up so bad before. But like, it sucks that I can't be consistent enough to be really, really good at something. Honestly, I'm surprised I finished college, but it's really because I went to an accelerated college that was only 2.5 years. Basically because we didn't get breaks, but it was more realistic in a work world anyway. Once you start in a work world, you don't really get like summer breaks and spring break and stuff. So whatever. It just got me through school quickly. I'm not good at school. It's not my thing. I don't like it. I mean, I had good grades, but I think it was the Asian pressure that really did that. Not because I enjoyed it. But yeah, I will do enough where I can kind of do it, but then I won't do it for like months, and then it's like I'm starting that trick all over again. But you know, I'm having fun doing it, I guess. I'm just trying not to hurt myself.
Yeah. And it's not to say that I'm like not good or not like decent in the things that I try to do. But I wish that I could just like do something for a very long time consistently and like have that thing. But I'm learning that that's just never going to be me. Yeah. I'm reading this book called...
Oh, sorry. We're gonna have to move forward along the conversation real quick. I was gonna just comment a couple more things, and I kind of had a question for you that also I already have my own thing too. But to wrap up the other part with habits, it's just that when I do like something and I get really into it, I guess it's a habit at that point, but it's not. I feel like when it was martial arts and working out, I don't do the monotonous thing of doing the exact same thing. Like, I don't go the exact same day, do the exact same workout. I mean, you have to switch up workouts anyways. But I'm saying is that, like, people get used to an actual routine. And even though when I got habits and things that I was consistent with, it was never routine necessarily. I would do different classes. I would do different days because sometimes my schedule I couldn't do the class that I usually do. And I think that's what kept me going, was because my brain is already scattered anyways. I think it was good to have variety. But one more part, because we are going a little long, because we had a whole ADHD conversation before the topic. So you and Travis, is Travis also a little neurospicy?
Oh yeah. We laugh about it all the time. How we're both, like, we just had a thing earlier that we're like, oh wow, like we had double booked, like triple booked, honestly, because I had like decided to like, oh, like let's film the podcast today, and then he had like decided to hang out with his friends. Meanwhile, his mom had invited us to this tiki night at the tiki bar for today, like a month out. Like it was a while ago, and we completely blanked about it, and we were like, fuck, we didn't think about it at all. And she had mentioned it to us a few times, and then like time completely just escaped us. So yeah, I bought him a book called How to ADHD, and he's been reading it, and it's been really relevant to him. And yeah, so
with me and Charlie, like, this is the second part of the question. And I'll say what mine is, but so me and Charlie also, she's ADHD as fuck. She's probably as bad as I am. Honestly, we're probably both severely ADHD, which has a couple you can struggle with. We also find it funny sometimes too, you know, some silly ass shit. But luckily, sometimes we will take on traits where if one of us has the displacement thing, where did I just put the thing? The other one will help, you know?
Oh yeah, Oh, us too.
And because I am more of the decision maker in the relationship, it has forced me to try to like be better when we go out. Like I have to remind her to grab a certain thing, or hey, do you need this? But sometimes she does that for me, like if I'm stressed out or something. But usually I am. It's weird to be with another ADHD person because it kind of forced me to be a little bit better about some other habits because there's two of us. And though once in a while, though, two brains did not make any right. It didn't help at all. Truly. But like, I think like the scheduling thing, we have done that before. I suggested that we have a shared Google Calendar, so we have one now.
Wow, that's so smart.
We do that now because Charlie especially forgets about stuff. Even the thing that I literally just told her about, her short term's bad. Very bad, which is why she probably needs some help therapy-wise for that part. Because I'm really bad too, but she's pretty bad with the short term, like almost immediately sometimes. So like, especially when we have events and stuff, she is always asking me if, hey, are we doing a thing or what? Now I'm like, it's on the calendar. I'll be like, yes, it's on the calendar. Make sure it's on. And I do notifications.
Before anything, check the calendar.
Well, also, like, I put notifications for, like, either a day before or a week before, just to remind both of us, really.
That's really smart. I think we're gonna
just to let me fucking know, you know? Because I will forget, too. But it's been nice. That's been good. But I think where I'm getting is also the actual struggle where both of us are struggling mentally and whatever task is happening, and then we just get really frustrated and we bicker a little bit and maybe fight a bit. Because I also feel like sometimes we take each other's habits, ADHD tendencies personally, and then we have to like reassess what's happening and like, look, we're both, I think we're just not thinking straight right now. There's a lot going on, this and that kind of situation. So I'm wondering, like, with you and Travis, what are your struggles with that as well? I mean, scheduling apparently is one of them, but have a shared Google Calendar. Do it.
I'm definitely doing that. I'm offering that up tonight. Next time I see him. So that's definitely something. I think that we have an issue like placing things too. I think Travis is constantly asking me where his stuff is.
Wait,
and like even like I won't even be around. Like earlier he was like, babe, have you seen my eyeliner? I'm here in Jersey and he's over there at his house. And I was like, check your toiletry bag. And he's like, yeah, it was all the way in the bottom. I threw it in there. And I was like, cool. And for some reason, like, I remember where his stuff is more than my stuff. And I take a mental picture. I take a mental picture of all his shit. He'll be like, babe, have you seen my glasses? I'll be like, yeah, it's in the window, in the bathroom.
Charlie will do the same thing. I'll know exactly where her fucking lip gloss is or some shit, and then I can't even find my fucking hat. But the thing is, I want to say one thing about the can't finding stuff. Charlie, there's a joke about it. Apparently, this runs in the family. It's I think it's hereditary and ADHD. Is that she's so bad at looking for stuff. And there's a joke on TikTok a while ago called boyfriend eyes. Like, why is it that men can never find anything? They would be like, can you find the ketchup in the fridge? And they were like, and it's just like behind one thing, like only a singular thing, right? And it's always like dudes and boyfriends. Charlie has boyfriend eyes. She has it. And it will literally.
Travis might have boyfriend eyes too. And
literally, sometimes I'll be looking at her. She'll be, have you seen my thing? And I'm like, before I say anything, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything just yet. And I'll watch her look around, and I'm literally looking at the thing, and I'll be like, seriously, babe? And it's just like, what? And she'll get so close, but then turn, I'm like, it's literally, I'm staring at it. But she says it runs in her family. Her last name is Blanco, and it runs in her family to say, are you looking like a Blanco? Apparently, it's like her whole family. Like, they're like, is it lost, or are you just looking like a Blanco? And the fact that it's a saying means that I'm in it for life now. This is just how my life is. This is it. Because her whole family does it, apparently. It's not just... it's a combination of genes and ADHD. I guess this is what I'm here.
It's gotta be.
And when I can't find something where she was like, were you looking like me? Were you looking like a Blanco? I was like, honestly, probably. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad influence now.
Oh my God. No, I think I have a tendency to look at every freaking crevice. I feel, and I think about it as a game. I don't know. Maybe that's another ADHD thing about me.
No, that makes me... But I just get mad. I'm like, where did I put it?
No. If someone asks me where something is, this is a scavenger hunt for me now. Now it's a game. Now we have to find it. And we cannot give up. Like, Travis will be the type to just be like, oh, whatever. And I'll keep looking. I'll be like, nope. It's got to be some here. It's got to be somewhere around here. But
I also feel like you're hyperfixating a little by gamifying it like that, because you're not letting go of it. That actually is a little ADHD. I don't know if it's exclusively for ADHD people, but gamifying things, gamifying anything is a pretty normal strategy for a lot of people.
And I think that when I find it, I feel like I win. You know, I feel as if like I'm successful. I found this. Like it's an accomplishment. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it feels really, really rewarding when I find the thing. Like, it could be anything, honestly. Yeah. But other than that, I think, we do have those instances that where we're both frustrated about something, and, you know, we like come out of pocket a little bit. But I think we do a really good job of acknowledging why it's happening, what's going on. And then, you know, if one of us kind of gets a little spicy later on, we're like, I'm sorry I spoke to you like that. I was just, you know.
But okay. Yeah. We do have to wrap up.
Right.
You know, we got off topic so much. We did go over by quite a bit today. So I'm going to have to cut down on some of our conversation in the beginning. It's okay. I'll cut down on my conversation about my cats. It's okay. It's fine.
Wow. The juiciest part? That's crazy.
I'll just shorten it a little bit. It'll still be there, just a little shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, this episode's really just for all the people who have a million hobbies, have many skills, that are good at a lot of things but master of nothing. You know, all of us just live it and try to trying to be an adult.
just because I wanted to throw it in there, I'm reading a book called Range, Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. And it's making me feel really okay with having a million hobbies. And maybe I don't have to specialize. Well, you know,
also, to quickly comment on that, me too. I was always the jack of all trades. Granted, the bad part of that is that I did everything at different companies. Like they got me on like every project. But it is good that I can. Too. But it is good that I can kind of switch my roles if I look for a new job and stuff like that. It is good because also in the world of AI and everything happening, but also just things being taken over by technology in general, not just AI, just general technology. It's good to keep options open because if you're also feeling like, hey, I do too many things, or it's like, if you're at least decent at most of the things that you do, you'll be okay. If you're trash at all the things that you do, then maybe you gotta work on some shit.
Yeah. Maybe focus on a couple things.
Maybe on a couple things if you're trash, sorry. You do need to have at least a couple of skills. Love you though, still. But if you're decent at most of the things that you do, you know, it's okay that you're not a master of nothing. Look, do I really look up to people who are master animators, master video editors? Like, for sure. But if that's like the only thing they know how to do, it's, you know... I mean, if they have a good career, then, you know, they're probably chill. But I'm just saying, it's like, sometimes you focus so much on one thing, and you get good at that one thing, which could be great, but things switch up. It's just, you know, I mean, obviously, that doesn't necessarily go for, like, every job. I think for the majority of jobs, for, like, most people who do, like, office jobs or creative jobs, you know, that kind of stuff. It's good to know more than just one skill.
Yeah, I think the important thing to know is try not to be so rigid with yourself. And I'm also trying to take that advice. Just because there's just so many things to do, so many things to explore. Try everything. Try it all. It's a short life, but it's a long life. Because you have the rest of your life to try all of the things. And if you were doing this one thing for 25 years, maybe pivot a little bit.
Yeah. Also, another small tip, and I know this is hard for my ADHD people, but something that I've gotten better at. If the task is very small, if it takes you less than 5 minutes, if it's something that takes 10 minutes, then maybe you can try to play. But just do it immediately, because sometimes... if I don't do it immediately, I forget about it. Like, I don't know, putting away the groceries. I don't know. But then something gets left out for way too long, you know? Just do the thing. And if you want to start slow, if it's something that takes you 2 minutes, you know, and then increase the times. But just do it really quick. I've gotten better at doing, like, I'll be like, sorry, let me just do this really fast. And just do it. Yeah. Do the thing, guys. Do the thing. Yeah. Do your best.
If you have to, maybe set a little timer for yourself. You know, do like
set a little timer for yourself. I don't want to show the number because we went really far.
No, because it'll go against what we're saying. But set a little timer for yourself. Set a timer. Try to help yourself with these little tools. Hopefully, it'll help you. We're still trying to implement all these tools, but we hope that this episode was relevant to you. We feel you. If you're listening or watching this, we get it. And our ADHD hearts are with you. Our neurodivergent hearts are with you.
For our neurotypical partners and friends and family, be patient with us, please. I mean, sometimes we are trying really hard, but it's a struggle. And then we'll cry if you just give us more shit about it.
Yeah,
we cry a lot. But that's it. I gotta do the ending. See, wow, I'm especially bad today. It was a long day. I did a lot today, so maybe I'm fried now.
It was a big week.
Listen or watch us on YouTube and Spotify, audio and video on both. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at 30s Dirty Thoughtin. You can email us memes, something silly, something useful. coupons. I don't know. At 30 dirty Thoughtin at gmail.com. And yeah, happy Pride. Hang out with us. I don't know. Be gay. Be merry. Allies. Allying. What else?
Ally.
All right. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.